Before we look at the weather, I will just show you the sailing directions for Ireland. We are going to make landfall in Killybegs right here. It's a 207 nautical mile voyage from Scotland. I'm going to come around, go in there. So let's check it out. In terms of landed tonnage, Killybegs is the largest fishing port in the British Isles. The port is one of the best natural harbors in Ireland, accessible by day or night in any weather, and offers all services including hull, engine, electrical, and electronic repairs. The best anchorage, clear of traffic and moorings, is east of the pier and south of the fish factory in 2 to 5 meters. The holding ground is excellent, but the chain and anchor must be thoroughly rinsed on weighing, since the bottom mud tends to have a fairly pungent odor. An alongside berth may be available on one of the piers. However, an alongside berth will normally mean rafting up to another vessel. The slipway west of the town pier is used by sea angling boats, but is a convenient place to land by dinghy. And here's a little aerial view of Killybegs. I assume we'll be anchoring over here somewhere. Let's look at the weather. I will click on the Predict Wind offshore app. We will go to departure planning just so that we can compare today's departure with departures tomorrow, the next day, and the next day. That's the Outer Hebrides, there's Scotland, there's Ireland. We are anchored right here in the Isle of Skye. We're actually down there, but I'm setting our departure point right here where the green teardrop is. Zoom out. And the route takes us down here around this thing and then into Killybegs Harbor. That's a 207 nautical mile voyage. I'm going to click on download, go to departure planning preferences. I've set the start time, push off time for today at 1700 hours. Leaving at 1700 hours, we think, if we go at 5.5 knots, we'll time our arrival in daylight and also in calm conditions. Download. Because we are using a cell phone, the download goes pretty quickly. Later on we'll activate our Iridium Go so that we can receive the same stuff from far offshore beyond the range of cell phones. But right now we'll do this. Okay, look at the tables first. What's interesting to see here, 0% of the time is upwind if we leave today. If we leave tomorrow or the next day or the next, and there's more upwind time. 47% of the time is spent reaching, and 53% of the time is downwind. There's more reaching tomorrow, but for other reasons we're going to go today. I'm not so crazy about this for sure. It's 20 to 30 knots 52% of the time, so that's windy voyage. 20 to 30 knots for more than 50% of the voyage is a lot. Percentage of the time upwind, over 50 knots, of course that's 0. We've got no upwind. Percentage of time wind against current, that's 0 today. We've got a little bit on the next days, not much, but wave report isn't really favorable for today. 65% of the time in 2 to 3 meter waves. We'd have less if we leave on the next days. But the big thing is that we have no upwind sailing. There's also the map animation that helps us make up our mind here. So let's look at the ECMWF forecast, have the animation speed go very slowly. We're looking at wind, and I'm going to click on play. And this is noon, this is 2, this is 4, 5, and we're off. 20 knots on a broad reach, 25 knots on a broad reach, very windy, 20 knots. And then on our arrival you see it actually calms up, and we're arriving at like 6 in the morning in Killybegs in like no wind. That's really nice. I really like that. If we leave instead tomorrow, 20 knot beam reach, 20 knot beam reach, looks good, looks good, looks good, looks great, and then we got no wind. That's why leaving tomorrow doesn't work for me, because we'll have to motor like 50% of the voyage. If we leave on the next day, again, it's not enough wind to sail, so it's all a big motor trip. Get a little bit more wind in the last half here, but it's still not enough to push our 20-ton boat. The next day, again, it's still light, and then it starts to go upwind, which is also not good for us. So the decision is we either leave today or we're waiting for at least 4 or 5 days, maybe a week. And I don't want to wait for a whole week because we have to get to Morocco. So I'm willing to do this in strong wind because it is all on a good broad reach. That should work fine for us. We'll have our jib out and we'll furl it as necessary. We'll go down to our staysail if it gets too windy, and we probably won't have the main up at all. We'll look at the GFS report, see if it concurs with ECMWF. Click on play. 6 o'clock and we're off. Again, 20 knots, broad reach. We're not going to do any driving, but it's going to be windy. Blowing us onto the shore here. Not sure how I feel about that. But then it gets nice and calm on the arrival. I like that. Just to make sure we have no rain. I don't think we have any rain. There's rain down here in Ireland right now. None where we are. And pushing off, no rain, just wind and no rain. I think we're to go. It's going to be windy, but we're not going to use any fuel. It might be a little rough, especially around here. And then, you know, this is a lee shore. We have the strong wind pushing us right onto the shore. So we'll need to keep a safe distance from the shore before we make our turn to port to go into Killybegs Harbor. So that's weather.
Today is Wednesday, August 2nd. It is just about noon here in Loch Harport on the Isle of Skye, and we are getting ready to go. I'm gonna go to shore and get some water. The water wasn't working yesterday. And get some bread, maybe another thing of eggs, and take out our trash. So we're all set. And I thought I'd take you along.
Go like the wind.
11:57. I should be back here by 1.
All right. I'll set up the settees.
Got the key?
Thanks for cooking all that food last night.
You're welcome. We have pasta with meat sauce and macaroni and cheese with tuna, sriracha, and onions.
Woo!
And that is what we're eating underway. So I'm going right over there. Look at this, man. Sky is just striking.
Stealth.
Hi, Kevin. Well, how are you? The visitor dock for Loch Harport is right over here, just down the way from the Talisker Distillery. It is £1 per person in the dinghy to land the dinghy per 24 hours. So I guess if you came in the evening and you came again in the morning, that would just be £1 per person. They also charge for water. It is £1 for 50 liters of water, which is just about 13 gallons, something like that. It's always nice to have water jugs that are not a part of the main tanks. And that way, if something goes awry, if we lose water because it gets contaminated, or there's a leak or something, we still have water on deck that we can use to cook and to drink. have a good lunch, Kevin.
Thank you, Mom. We'll see you around.
Okay. This is the electric outboard. You can see just idle. It has 9 hours and 59 minutes. At the speed that we were going to get in here, it had 38 minutes. I'll just hit power down. But there is a key right here that you put in, and it won't go without the key, although you can turn it on. And I'm going to, there's a little lever there. I'll raise it up. All right, I'm gonna grab our excessively heavy trash bag and leave that. They're all little caravans that park here. They say that up to 5 a night can stay here. There is a little mooring field out here and then a little pontoon. The mooring field would not actually work for us. It says that it's for boats up to 10 tons. So that really doesn't work for us. Besides, we like to anchor, and we're anchored way down there. And it's gorgeous. It is so beautiful. We're out there on our own. We have a lot of privacy, but we're super close into town. It has such a striking background. It's a really beautiful anchorage. I am surprised that there are not more boats here. This is where the Anasu box is. You can see the moorings, the pontoon berthing, and the dinghy. £1 per 24 hours. Parking and a little information about the waterfront. You can put your pound coins right in here. And there are 2 trash bins here. And then off into town. This is the community shop. It's quite small, but it's well stocked with things that you need. It has some vegetables, fruit, milk, meats, cheese, various shelf items. I wouldn't do a provision here, but it's a good place to stock up on some little essential items. So I got some bread and a couple of little snacks. Now I am heading over to the dock to get some water, then back to the boat to finish all of our tasks. We're just about there. It's just a couple of things that need to be put away. I took my pill a couple of hours ago so that it can start to get into my system, because I think this is going to be a rambunctious sail. I'm not sure that I would push off today. It seems like there's going to be a lot of wind, and if it says it's gusting to 30, it's always more. It's always more. And I think we're going to be tired because we're pushing off at the end of the day. So we'll see. Ooh, I am going to go into the Old Inn really quickly. I wanted to download an audiobook, but for some reason it is not downloading on my cell, at least not very fast. So see if I can take advantage of the Wi-Fi really quickly. This is the entrance to the Old Inn. It's really quite beautiful. Come down here, got the way in. There's a front door there, but there's a back door here. And then you have this gorgeous patio and little lily bug. Hi, Kevin.
Hey, Mom. How are you?
Good, good. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Beautiful view.
It is lovely here.
Yeah.
It's a great place to simply be. We'll have a great passage.
Yeah, I hope so. I think it's going to be spirited.
For a time, but I also think it's going to get fairly calm as you approach Ireland.
Yeah, which is really, it still looks calm. So it should be nice. We'll see. Anyway, Drake wanted to come over to Exodus to say goodbye later.
All right.
Can you just maybe shoot us a text or something when you're getting back on the boat? got the audiobook and we are off. I was just about to say I need to go into the old inn to download a book on tape, which I think dates me because that's what I used to listen to, book on tape, then a book on CD, and now it's just an audiobook. So if you haven't checked out Libby or one of the other library apps, I totally recommend it. It's amazing. I use it when we're underway. I have books that I can read, but an audiobook works way better for me keeping a watch and for me controlling my seasickness. Going to head into the Talisker distillery. We're right here, and I thought I would pick up a little bottle for Aina because Aina is going to visit us while we're in Ireland, and then I think he's going to sail with us to Portugal, which is wild also because like 12 years ago, that is where Drake and Aina met aboard another West Sail 42. So we're just going to be recreating the whole journey. But anyway, I wanted to pick up a little something for Aina for when he comes.
So we'll go and get this stuff out of the car.
All right. Done. Now we are off to the coffee shop. I got one yesterday and it was amazing. And then off to fill the water.
Yeah, thank you. Enjoy your day. Okay. Bye-bye.
I'm not much of a morning person. I think people have figured that out. But this leaving at 5 o'clock at night, I think I like to get up and go in the mornings because you don't have to think about anything and then you're just sailing. Whereas today, we're just sitting here waiting to leave. I don't like it as much. You can see how much the tide has gone down just in the time that I've been gone. Okay. The hose is in the water jug. It says to open all the way. Put a pound coin in there and it will just automatically start. Fingers crossed. Nothing. Well, that's super fantastic. 2 pounds for nothing. All right, well, I guess back to the boat and we won't get the extra water from Skye, and they owe us 2 pounds. You can see, hopefully, 9 hours and 59 minutes. I will put this on and we're ready to go. At this point, I have an hour and 8 minutes until the battery dies. We are 2/3 empty. There's 1/3 on the bars of the battery. So that's good. We have been to shore and back multiple times, both Drake and I, with water, lots of groceries, and still got a nice charge to it. We did plug the battery in for the electric outboard here and there over the last couple of days when we had some good sun. It takes about 20 amps when it's charging, so not an insignificant amount, but on a sunny day, it's not such a big deal. Here, catch!
I got it.
Okay. No water. So that is the deal. We are back on the boat. wind is picking up. It's a little rough. And we're just gonna finish getting ready. We leave in a couple of hours.
I'm gonna go over to Kevin's boat to say goodbye. He is one of my best friends. I've known him for like 35 years or something like that. And it's been so oh my god, look at that. Jeez. Wow. That is so close, I can't believe it. Is that like a C5 plane? Well, out here on the Isle of Skye in Scotland, they have C5 planes going over all the time. So I'm gonna go.
Why is that?
I'm gonna zip over to Kevin and just say goodbye. We're going to both raise anchor at 5 o'clock. He's just gonna do a quick little trip over to Rum. Ah, I got wet. Hi, buddy. Hi, Louie. It's a little rolly in here, huh?
It's a bit all of a sudden.
You think it's a good day for you to push off?
Yeah.
It's going to be a windy sail. 250 nautical miles. We'll have 20 to 25 knot winds for pretty much the whole thing. And then hopefully it'll calm down in the morning when we arrive. That's the plan.
There's coffee or tea?
I'll have a coffee, but I can't stay long.
Are you looking forward to this? Your trip?
I'm hoping it's going to be great, but I'm wondering if there are going to be challenges because it gets too windy. But, you know, we'll be on a broad reach, even if it's 25 knots or gusting to 30 plus. We're on a broad reach.
I can't imagine a more ideal set of conditions for you.
Really?
Yeah.
25 knots?
So it's behind the mast.
Yeah.
It's not a headwind.
At least it's not dead downwind. That would be
That's
a
true.
big problem for me.
What could be better than 20, 25? We'll put it in a debrief before.
Yep.
No. No. No.
I'll put a double reef in my main before we raise anchor, but I doubt I'll even use it. I think I'll just use a jib. I can furl in as much as I need to,
Okay.
depending on the conditions. When I'm going downwind, especially if the wind's really strong, then if I put up the main at all, it seems to overpower our autopilot.
Alright.
Or at least, you know, make the autopilot work harder than I want it to work. You gonna come visit us in Portugal or Morocco?
We'll see. I would like to, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Why are you not in your bed?
Hey.
Stay.
So what do you think of Killybegs? You've been there before, right?
Yes, not by boat, by car.
Oh yeah.
And it's a nice town. It's a working port, a serious working port. Lots of big fishing boats. Hey, what happened to the stay? Over here. Stay. People are nice. I'm sure if you need mechanics or welders, things like that, you can get them done. It's not yachty, but it's a working port, which is almost, in some respects, is better.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna like that.
And the approach is very clean and easy. So holding is good.
That sounds great. You know, we're preferring Killybegs over Sligo because it looks like it'll be easier to anchor in Killybegs. Well, I hope we rendezvous with Hazel in Portugal. We're going to try to time it so we can meet each other and convoy down the coast a bit.
That would be wonderful.
That would be wonderful, yeah. She's still stuck in the marina in Brest, France, waiting for an engine part. She's done so many things to try to fix the problem herself. Now she's going to replace the lift pump. May or may not be the solution, but she's learned so much about her engine in the process, I think.
That's how it's done.
Yep. Well, thank you for introducing us to all of these wonderful places that we've seen since we've left Stornoway. I never...
Just a handful. We went to
yeah, just a small handful. Yeah, the Sheds.
Then we went to La Clay. And now we're here.
Oh, what a beautiful place here.
I was telling Mo,
Yeah.
this anchorage is going, you wouldn't want to be here permanently, but as a temporary place, you really have it all. And if you needed to, there is a bus service that will get you into Portree.
Oh, wow. What, for bigger shopping or?
If you wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Or anything else. Meanwhile, here you are. It's beautiful. Holding's good. It's not crowded. You have a wonderful little inn. You have Wi-Fi and cellular service. Wonderful walks and hikes, and people are nice.
It's a great place to be, yeah. Oh man, this wind makes me a little nervous. Just what's out there once we get out there?
Well, these fjords, they do have their little microclimates.
Yeah, you think that's what this is?
It always seems to be a bit gustier. The direction is also different in the fjord. I think when you get out there, it'll be steadier. I wouldn't be at all surprised if it's a bit less. Not forget, it will be less because you'll be going downwind. So the apparent wind will, all other things being equal, the apparent wind will be less than it is here.
Yeah. If anything, I'm worried that we're going to go too fast. If we do 5.5 knots, then we'll arrive right at...
This is an unexpected statement.
We timed it so that we will arrive at like 6 in the morning. You know, so if we go too fast, then we'll arrive at...
I wouldn't worry about
earlier.
it too much.
Yeah.
Just go at the right time.
Yep.
Run the boat properly.
Yep.
Get your reefs in ahead of time.
Yep.
And if you do arrive, half an hour ahead of time?
Yeah.
This really is kind of a non-problem.
Yeah.
Think about it. You can lay off. You can hove to for a bit. Have your breakfast.
Yeah.
Because there is a bay on the outside, and you will be. You'll have lee in there. You'll be sheltered in there. So don't worry about it. You are going from the Isle of Skye to Kellybegs in the Republic of Ireland.
Yes.
And then you get to Dingle. And then from Dingle, Ireland, you're going to jump off to Portugal.
Yes.
3 months in Portugal,
and then a 2-day sail down to Morocco, where we will be in a marina called Borg Greg. Apparently the king of Morocco has his own dock and a whole bunch of armed guards at all times. And so by kind of default, the king's guards are walking around the marina. So
that sounds like he'd be an excellent neighbor for that purpose, at least.
Yeah. We're wondering if we're going to meet the king of Morocco, and if we do, what should we bring him? Though we probably won't.
Just be yourselves.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll be in touch.
Keep the AIS on.
All the time, yeah. Thank you.
Have fun.
Thank you, I will, and you. We'll see you soon.
You will. Have a great trip.
Aye, and you.
Hope the preparations go well.
And you. Bye. Saying goodbye. I'm probably not going to see him for a while unless he gets on a plane and flies down to visit us in Morocco. I'm not sure he's going to do that. All right, let's get the boat ready and get out of here. It is wavy.
You want to go on the other side?
You think I should?
We're protected.
Yeah, fine. I'll go around. Toss a painter in. All right, I'm gonna hand the outboard up to you. Oh, good.
Don't drop the key in the water.
Oh, got it. Got it? You sure? All right, great. Unfortunately, Mo wasn't able to get any water today. This is probably a good opportunity, though, to show you how we secure them to the deck. So I got a stanchion there, I got a stanchion there, stainless rail connecting the two stanchions. It's structurally pretty strong. I've got this board that's secured to the stanchion with a U-bolt. There are the nuts on the other side with the big washers holding it there. And I drilled holes in that board to do this. I've got one line with a bowline on the end going through the hole in the board. I put the jug there and it sits on the cap rail, so it's outboard and not in your way when you're running up and down the deck. Then the line comes through that hole, and what I do is I bring it up and around the jug again, like that. Then I bring it down underneath the board and out and around the jug again, like this. Come back up on the other side there and tighten the f*** out of it. And then I bring it through the handle here, through the bowline here, and then I make it even tighter by bringing the line around that line and pulling it down, and that's a lot of compression. So the jug's not going anywhere. Even in rough seas, it's been fine. That's not going anywhere. We've got 4 diesel jugs on that side, they're full. We've got 2 more diesel jugs, they're full. And then the 2 waters, which we always keep full. They serve as the emergency supply should we run out of water in our main tanks, or if something should go wrong with the water in our main tanks. Also, the thinking is, if we ever had to abandon ship, you know, we have a hand-powered water maker in the ditch bag, but a part of the planning is that if we do abandon ship, and if there is time, we would grab these 2 jugs on deck and throw them in the life raft. May it never happen. And now you have seen for the first time how Drake secures the jugs on deck. It has been a closely guarded secret for all these years, but now you know. Alright, that's done. Oh, I forgot to put the cover on the jug. I'm not gonna deal with it. We'll do it later, because we are late. We got to get out of here. Alright, next, we'll take our little falling apart ladder. Someday I'm gonna install something better than this piece of crap, but you know, that's served us well enough all these years. It was subjected to an impact, a collision between our boat and another, that boat that caught fire, and then we went up to them and rescued them. Also, with my handy rope work, I have secured these 2 propane tanks and this big drum of oil, and they're going nowhere. It's a bit of a art and a science securing stuff on deck with a piece of line. This electric outboard is very nice to have when you're in a hurry, or you got to go a really great distance. Our old fender's in the way. Can you believe that when we went to Greenland, that's all we had for fenders, these little guys? Boy, have we learned a thing or two since then. This outboard mount I made myself. I'm quite proud. It's a couple of pieces of starboard that I screwed together. I cut out the hole here and here and used a hose clamp to secure it to the rail here and also here. I cut that hole there, and bada bing, that's it. You got your outboard holder. Works great. I'm looking forward to making a cover for the outboard to protect it from the sun and the spray, and it's on the list. It's not that high a priority though when you consider all the other things on the list. Windy, windy.
instruments, nav net, windlass, VHF, autopilot. We're going to be on a starboard tack, so the port side is all made up. Some snacks, paper towels, headphones, a bag, seasickness pills, water bottle can go right there, as well as my phone. All of the locks are on. This chair and the board, they are out because Drake is going to need to get into the sail locker to push down the castling chain. This has a little lock right there that keeps the medicine cabinet closed. And wow, you only have to forget that one once before you double check it, because everything came out of the medicine cabinet one time and it was a real mess. There is a lock right there, and that keeps this whole thing from coming out. All of the locks are down here. Those are down. The fiddles are on. Moving back. This should be, haha. That's just gonna bang away. So I'm gonna put the lock on that door. No, it's not going anywhere. Nothing in here. I have a bunch of laundry, don't look at that. Engine room, looking good. All right, so I guess that we're ready to go.
I just got to make sure we got a double reef in the main. I don't think we're going to use it for this voyage, but if we do need it, I want it to be double reefed. The first reef goes in first, and then the second reef goes in second. This is first reef. What we really need to do is examine it to make sure that it's set correctly. We're going to turn the engines on in about 20 minutes. It'll take us a while to get the anchor up. There we are. That's first reef set. That's nice and tight. One set. Here's second reef. Damn, it's windy. I'll set this other part of the reef. Alright, now we are completely reefed with the second reef. Now that I know we got a reef, we'll close it up so it doesn't get beat to hell by the sun. Looking good. About time I replaced our ground tackle on account of it's so far rusted that when we bring it up we get pieces of rust all over the deck, and its integrity is somewhat compromised. Not enough that worries me, but it'd be nice to get some new chain. White caps. Everything's good to go. It is extremely windy out, as you have seen, and we have our headsets on so that we can hear each other. If you've seen us raise anchor before, then you know that we developed this mountain of chain in the sail locker when we're raising it, and I've got all 300 feet of chain out, so it's probably going to castle twice. And so Mo will be at the helm the entire time, and
I can mute you too.
So Mo will be at the helm the entire time, and I will be raising anchor on the bow, but when it castles I'll have to come down and knock the chain down And during this whole thing, you know, with the loud engine noise, with the loud wind noise, with me going down below and knocking the chain down, we will be able to hear each other as if we were right next to each other in a soundproof room. It's actually been fantastic because it can be a kind of stressful situation when you don't know what the other person's doing. You don't know if they're aware of something that you're aware of. Just communication is really key. And yeah, we couldn't do it otherwise without these headsets. It's really making a difference.
It is time to start your engines.
Are all the battery banks on?
No, can you go do that? Ha! Goes to show you don't remember everything.
Okay, you're good to go.
Okay.
Start her up.
Woo! Wow, it looks really miserable. I can't believe we're leaving.